Now we're going to go over the high level test plan. Hafiz is going to work on a test plan. I'm going to go over this test plan. What are the various sections? What is involved in it? And see, here you just enter the project name. Obviously, you'll be entering your project name, not this. And project version, I don't know whether what release is it. Even if you write wrong, he'll correct it. He wants to see whether you're working hard or not. If you produce something, he'll like it. Third day, you have a document ready. Okay, so look at it that way. This is your third day, right? Everybody will like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to get these names from them tomorrow. While when you will send it to your manager, he will send you these results very fondly. Will tell you all these things because these are your kind of questions. Yeah, I'm writing. Shall I say for Karen or for whom I'm gonna send this thing mainly?
Karen.
This is my method. Ask Karen.
Okay.
You know, so you will remember where to fill and what to fill.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put this in red also as long as I remember. Okay, so these are your questions like yesterday we are doing, right? These are your questions that we'll be asking,
Okay.
right? Okay, so then we come to the table of contents. I will quickly go over this thing. See, we see some sections here: document change control,
Okay. One
document.
moment.
Okay, so now we're gonna go over document change control. Document change control is a section in which you write what are the changes that take place in the document. For example, let's say document is delivered to your project management. After that, anybody, if he changes the document, anybody who makes the changes, he has to write in this section. This is how this section looks like. In this section, that who changed what at what time. Like, for example, who on this date, on this was a second version created, and who did what. Basically, all these things have to be written. So it's just a section that everybody keeps. For example, you can see, nobody writes anything in this section, but just keep this section. Especially the very first section will be like who wrote it originally. That of course will be your name. So we have to write all these things. Okay. Second is doc purpose and areas of focus. The purpose of this document is to outline the test plan. We will expand it. We will expand it and write a good line here. Okay, we'll write the purpose of this project is this, and then this test plan outlines the test strategy, test objectives, and so on and so forth. As okay, we'll make something like this, and then we'll put it in this section. The areas of focus. The areas of focus in case of Hafiz is very simple. It's clinical trial management. Okay, so we'll expand on it. We'll test site management also. We'll subject management also. All the functionality that has been made a part of, which is a part of this project, will be covered. We'll just write something like this and it will be covered.
But if you expand it and if you add more and more things into it, they might ask you, how you can go to site management, how you can go to this and that.
Nobody's going to. It's a social study essay. Just write something. People are more concerned about like just this thing happening, and if you deliver something, people will be just okay. So good question.
Isn't it better you just stick to the point and
Yeah. So areas of focus, we have to write something, right?
Clinical trial.
Yeah, but then if you say just one line, you have to write a little bit more. So we'll just keep expanding. Does not mean like so you basically just expand something that you can justify. Obviously, anything that you write here, you have to. So site management is anyway a part of this. Trial management is anyway a part of this. Subject management is anyway a part of this. So we better write something. So I'm not going to write anything Greek. It's going to make sense to him. He already knows subject management is part of this, right, Hafiz?
Okay.
Subject management. Are you able to hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so right, subject management, site management is all part of your work, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just say at the high level, whatever is gonna be, whatever is part of the requirements, we'll test it, right?
Okay.
Related documents. Obviously, one of the related documents. So in this section, you just put all the related documents. One of the important related documents is the requirements document, right? Maybe technical design documents he can also put. He can also put the presentations that he has. Just see whatever will help the reader in understanding his document. Whatever else will help the reader in understanding his document is a good idea to put. It's not like somebody will say, look, why have you put this thing as related document? That's not definitely not going to happen. I know which sections they're going to be finicky about. We'll come to those sections too. But we have to decorate it. You cannot send the document just with the this is the test of these are the test cases. Okay. So okay, audience is, I mean, I usually leave such sections, just put some of the audience that I know, and then rest of the audience they'll fill out in tomorrow's meeting. These are the leave something for your manager. So I always put some harmless and simple questions for a manager. He gets the feeling at the end of the day that he reviewed my document and he gave me his feedback. Okay, and and things get over. Okay, so we'll leave this section. That's why I wanted to leave that Joe Zimmerman open. So that Karen can say something. Okay, that is Joe Zimmerman. Okay, things like that. So that's the whole idea. We can feel everything. You look at it, he has to find some fault or he has to give some feedback, right? So just leave certain questions. This is my way. They get it over with very easily, saying, okay, this is what I think. This is what. So I write some specific questions for them. To the answers I might be already knowing, but I just ask them. This is my style. Okay. Objectives of testing. I really don't know what is the difference between purpose and objective, but just write something. We'll write something. Okay. Objectives of testing could be like to basically deliver an error-free system. Okay. Error-free test system. Error-free. These are, don't try to be creative and don't try to be original. That's very important. Do not try to be original. If you have 5 documents, cut paste from that. Choose the best wording that you have heard, put it here. Okay, nobody's gonna come, oh look, this line does not fit with your personality. It's not gonna happen. Don't worry. Just write the very best that you find. And this is I have many other templates, but this one I think is very comprehensive. It has only one thing missing, that is scope. And I'll enter scope here. I'll rather enter it right away. So that I don't forget. Scope has come here too. So we'll write in scope also. Scope of testing, purpose of testing. What is the exact difference between purpose and scope? Some people are doing PhD on that work right now, but we are better off just doing something about it and writing something that everybody understands a little bit and they see that we did something. Trust me, that is the only way I treat this subject. Everybody should feel, your manager should feel that you did something, so that your manager can go to his manager and say that he's doing something. It's all about that. But yes, these are all very important research topics. Now, if you guys do get time, after 2 years, you guys can continue to do your PhD in these things. But whatever is required as part of the projects will be very simple. We'll just write up something. We'll just write something and just get it over with. But as such, what is the scope of testing? In scope of testing, you cover what am I going to test, right? I'm going to test the requirements. So, but at the same time, you may be testing more than the requirements. For example, there are certain things in Siebel which are out of the box functionality that may not be written in the requirement, like search functions, find function, query function. So he's going to write that, okay, I'm going to test each and every requirement documented in that XYZ document, exact name he has to give. Lying at this folder, this is a link. This is the way I will write scope. Second, I'll also test out of the box some of the out of the box features like find and query, just to see whether they are working appropriately in this thing or not. I'll also check whether the right SRF gets loaded or not. Things like that. So some of the things he'll just say whether the system configuration works as desired. This is my test scope. Third thing I'm going to write, I'm going to test scope, high level scope you're writing. I'm also going to test some of the negative test cases, whatever is not the requirement. Okay, so things like that. So this is the scope. We'll write something, everybody will be happy that he wrote something. That's how I will treat that subject today. Okay. Yeah. This is a very good template we have, but I personally feel make as many sections as you can.
They don't go through it, and make sure that they don't go through it.
They will go through. They'll just look at it like this. This document, just as you open, looks like something fun. That's it. First impression. Just as somebody opens like this, this is very bland. I will make it a little unbland. I'll like this very first page is very bland. I'll put some colors here, put some border here, put some logo here. I'll show you some first this thing. Just give me
You
one.
have to present that tomorrow.
Not me. He.
No,
Yeah.
after.
Yes, but he has to. Yes.
Yeah.
Give me one second. You have to present this document on the computer, or you can take a hard copy. See, if there is a projector, you will take a soft copy, and if there is not a projector, you definitely take hard copies with you. Okay.
There is no projector.
Okay, there is no projector, so hard copies. It is only within his team. There is no point of doing all this projector and all this formalization. In general, I can clearly see that he would not be having the access to projector just for tomorrow meeting. It's a very basic meeting. It's like we are all getting together playing poker. Okay, Hafiz, let's meet tomorrow, yaar. Let's have a meeting just to see what you're planning to do.
Yeah.
That's it. So he has to just present himself well. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
So this is like, for example, look at this. This is a pretty good front page,
Yes.
right? That's it. He has to just present what is he planning to do in the next 3 months. It's his second, third day. Nobody expects him to do anything. It's a windfall. They will get a windfall if he does something, and it's easy for him to present that. If you just give them some hard thing in their hand, they will like it. They'll think, even if he does not speak properly, I'm covered. I am covered, even if Hafiz doesn't speak properly, because at least he will be giving something hard copy to them. They have to show face to somebody else too. He'll be presenting to his teammates. He's working for a vendor. That vendor is having a team there, 3 or 4 people there. Those 3 or 4 people and they are basically serving the client. So those 3 or 4 people are his friends. He's playing poker with them today. Yesterday he was having dinner with them. Tomorrow he'll be going out to play bowling with them. It's gonna be like this. So they are his friends, like me and you, like we are. The only thing is they want to just talk about what you're gonna do. It's better that he prepares for even a small meeting like that. That's what I'm trying to do for him. Okay. There are more serious meetings to come. We'll just prepare him very, very well, and we'll give him something to even take with him to a small meeting also. Okay. Okay. All right. So objects of testing. Location of testing. Location of testing. Where are we planning to conduct? San Diego. That's the location. In my case, in one of my projects, we were working in Washington DC. The location was Chicago. It has to be explicitly mentioned here. Let's see what this guy has mentioned in the location section. Yeah. Exact address. Exact address has been written. So make one section that people know that you're detail oriented. We have enough details here. We'll just fill out all these details. People will like it. Okay. Key stakeholders. You have to put all the stakeholders in the testing. That will be your test lead. He's a test lead in this case, so nothing big deal. His project manager has to be there because he's definitely interested in the success of this test phase, right? Right?
Yes.
And then Joe Zimmerman, the project sponsor, the person who's paying the money, then the person who's gonna use the system owner. So all these people are interested, right? They would all be interested in finding out whether testing is occurring fine or not.
So in stakeholders, you will put Joe Zimmerman or what is it?
What is a stakeholder? Like stakeholders are like the people who are going to use the system, then people who are paying for the application, or people who are making the application.
They are sponsors.
They are all stakeholders. Yeah, they are the sponsors. But here,
Put 12 names here. If there are 12 sponsors for this.
usually there will be 2 or 3, and yes, just put as many people as you know. And if you by mistake put some extra person, he's not going to say that I'm not one of the stakeholders. I'm not one of the person who's paying for it. That's fine. Just
Yeah, but how Hafiz will come to know that these are the stakeholders? They have given him some details about it.
He knows because of some of the process documents that he read. That's what I'm saying. I'll leave it rather blank for my manager to fill in. You know, if you do not know who is paying the money for this project, you're okay, and it will give your project manager a feeling that he has filled something here. So these are the things that I usually leave blank for my project manager. Okay, so my project manager really, whatever I ask, he goes to the document. It's very difficult to read 50-page documents. Okay, they're not free to do all that. So what they do is they go over it and answer your questions, whatever questions you have written. If you have done a good job like this, if we make this document for him tomorrow, his manager is going to say, okay, Hafiz is on the right track. That's fine. Let's get it over with, and he will answer his questions and let him do what he's doing. Okay, so that's how my manager worked with me. The first few months, he saw my work. He was okay. He will just answer my questions. That's it. If I write 5 questions, he'll answer those 5 only. Okay, yeah. Document reviewers. Document reviewers are gonna be his lead, he himself, his lead, his peers. He can mention all his peers. Just
his team.
His team.
Yeah.
Then his manager.
Okay.
That's it. There is a document sign off also. Where is the document sign off? So okay, I need a document sign off also here. Okay.
The document
The
sign
first
off
sign
needs to
off?
be at the end.
Let's see where is the document sign off written. Do you see any document sign offs? I see this sign off thing here. Yeah, these are the sign offs.
Right there, yeah.
Okay, okay, that's fine. We have something here. Key milestones timeline. See, in testing, he needs to mention, he can make it that usually like from this date to this date we are planning to do this testing. So I'll make a good timeline document for him. So we can make a good timeline this thing. Just give me 1 second. I'll show you what kind of timeline thing I'm talking about.
Okay.
You're going to be talking about tomorrow, what is going to be a testing methodology or approach to test this whole application. So this is a very simple approach. Actually, if I explain you this thing, you pretty much know what to talk about tomorrow. Okay, so let's talk about it in detail. So there are two parts to this thing. Sorry, there are three stages in the testing. One is you plan it. Second is you prepare all the material. Third is you actually perform the testing. You execute the test, perform the test, right? So first is called as test planning. Second one he's calling as test construction. Last one he's calling as test execute. Right, Bob?
It's all basically, that's
Bob,
the-
just send me an SMS so that I message just so that I know that you are okay.
Bob is sleeping.
Okay, no problem. All right. So as part of all these phases, he's trying to say what are going to be the deliverables so that we can see that the tangibly we can see whether that phase is over or not. So one is test plan, resources plan, define test environments. Okay. Definition of test environments he can do along with that lady, who's the technical lady on that team. Resources plan, he's the only resource, right? And he can also say that if he can talk to his manager and see if some developer is also going to be free and he can use him also. Something like that can be worked out. I think it's a mutual effort. He can mention everybody here. That he himself, Hafiz will put like maybe 40 hours of every week. Everybody put like 10 hours every week. That's how he can put the resources something here. So we'll put something here. Test plan. Okay. So, but this is the test plan. So resources plan will be a separate document. Okay. Looks like a one-page document. Hafiz is going to be working on it. Karen is going to be spending 10 hours on it. I'll make like at least 2-3 pages, so that it looks good. He shows it to somebody. People say, this is a good resource plan. Things like that. Okay? Okay, Hafiz, you're understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Define test environments. I'll make a small document, saying that, okay, these are how the test environment will look like, the configuration of the system. All the configuration of the system can be put in an Excel in 10 lines. But I'll just make a document for him so that it looks good. Okay? All right. Test construction. So in test construction, he'll be delivering actual test scripts or test cases. What is a test script or test case? Give me 1 second. So he has to write the test cases. Test cases would mean like click on this, click on this, click on this, click on this, and then see whether it passed or failed. Right? Then he's the one who's going to actually test execute also. Anyway, coming back. While writing the test cases, he can make it a little bit less detailed test script also. He can just simply say, go to account screen, create a new account, and try to fill do not fill the required fields and see whether system prompts you or not. Right? Right? So that's a test case, right?
Yeah.
So he will mention all the required fields there and see, do not fill these fields one by one. First fill this out of 5 fields, first fill this 4 and don't fill the last one. Then see whether system prompts you or not, right? That's a test case. He has to write these test cases, not tomorrow. Tomorrow he has to submit test plan. Okay? So set up test environments. They will be basically setting up the test environments as part of this phase, they are saying. Then load test data. See, for every test case to work, some of the test cases will be look for this account, make these changes, right? Right? Somebody has to then enter that account before the test case is executed, right?
Yeah.
Right, Hafiz? You understand this load test data?
Load test data, yes.
What is it? Can you tell me in your own words? Bob, are you there?
You have to put some data before you can enter some data.
Yeah, but Azim, will you tell me in your own words?
Load test.
Yeah. Go.
Okay, load test data means that you have to have access to a data on which you perform a test.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before the testing commences,
Yeah.
you have to load that data,
Yeah, you have
right?
to load that
One of
data.
the important things I can see is positions have to be created, user IDs have to be created, organization has to be created, right? Right? Products have to be loaded. Otherwise, how can they create opportunity and show? In his case, it's clinical trial, so there is no opportunity. In his case, the data that he has to load is organizations, positions. Okay, Hafiz, are you noting? Positions, organizations, user IDs. He has to also put visit templates and so on and so forth, so that things can work. Making sense? So he has to load this test data so that the tests can be done
But he has to load test data where?
in the test environment, in Siebel test environment. You know what is Siebel test environment?
Hmm.
Do you know?
Siebel test environment.
Okay. Hafiz, do you know what is Siebel test environment, right?
Yeah, test environment.
It consists of separate machine, separate software, everything will be separate from the actual production servers and the actual development. So they prepare three environments, one for development. On that, no user uses it. Only developers are working just to develop it. After that, once they develop it, they put it in test environment. Same machine, same server, everything, different machine, different software, everything is different. Okay? Everything is different there. It's nothing is common. Separate machine, it's a new machine, it's a different machine. Then they install Civil and everything over there. So they keep it ready so that when the development develops it, they put it here and start testing it here. Developer can keep working on his own stuff. That's the reason they want to keep it separate. Once he says okay, testing is done, he transfers it to the tech or whosoever they know. They transfer it to production server where the users are actually using the system. Okay, you asked me sometime back, how do they transfer? Is it difficult? Is it not difficult? Remember? You asked me, I remember you asked me, yeah. See, it is difficult. There is a process called as change management. How do you transfer from test to production to make sure while promoting some hanky panky does not occur, right? Right? And whatever changes you made, they get plugged in into the original existing system seamlessly. So there is a science behind it. So we are not going to be learning that science. That science is called as software change management. That's what we're going to do anyway. But it gives you a very good idea what a test environment is.
Yeah.
Right?
Separate from the developer.
Yeah, development server and development environment. The environment consists not just server, it consists of web client, handheld, separate handhelds they have. If there is, you have to test it properly, right? Right, Hafiz?
Yeah.
And they will be loading the test data in that to make sure.
Basically, they will load the test data.
Who?
The company will load the test data. Or the tester has to load the test
Actually, some technical person will load this data, or maybe tester can do it. But mostly, company technical guys will prepare the whole test environment. Okay, while he is writing test scripts, technical people will basically be making the setting up the test environment, this task, and they will be also loading the test data, this task.
They also do that too, load test.
Yeah. It might be a mutual effort also.
But how do you load test data in an application?
See, there is a way to do in SQL. It's called as EAM to load the data. If it is less data, you can enter it manually. But if it is like 1,000 lines of something, you have to enter it through a process called as EAM. Bad job, right, Hafiz?
Yes.
Yeah, so they have to run a bad job in the test environment to load 1,000 rows of accounts or something in the test environment. So there is a standard procedure to do that. It's called as EIM. Siebel has a technology or a module called as EIM, Enterprise Integration Manager, that is used to load data in bulk into Siebel. Okay, how do you do that? How does it work? It's a technical job, so we are not preparing you for that, but you should know what are the parameters that get involved when you're loading 1 million lines. What are the various parameters that you need to check? Okay, that is your domain. Okay, all right, Hafiz, but here we are just loading the test data, so I'm not much worried.
So if they say, okay, these are this it's a very small data, you load it yourself.
No, they will not ask him. He's not technical, right? On paper he's not technical, so they will never ask him.
Okay, let's say they missed one of the field and we can manually write it down. load the
Yeah.
data. We can manually
Yeah,
do that.
I mean,
Like
if
typing.
you are, let's say you are the test planner, so it's your data, so you are managing here, so you can do it here. Not in production though. Production is not your
That's
data.
different.
That's
I
user
understand
data,
that.
right, Hafiz?
Yeah, correct.
Here you will be the owner of this environment. Just to let you know, it will be
Yeah.
your environment. Nobody can touch this without your permission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just to let you know, this works. Now tester owns this data. He sets it up. Nobody can touch this data without his permission. Okay. So
Okay.
execute and validate test scripts, actual results. So you will be basically, as part of this phase, you will be basically providing the results. You will be running the test scripts as it is written here in the tasks, and this is the deliverable. You will be providing the results, summary reports, anomaly reports, issues log. So we'll give you the templates for all this. Okay, issues log and all those things. So whenever you see an issue, you give it to test developers. They'll fix it. They'll give it to you. All those things. Okay.
Okay.
We can also write like communication plan. Remember the other say there we saw that stupid plan. So you can write whatever you want. We can provide a communication plan also, how the communication will take place between testers and developers. This communication is not between me and you or between Bush and Melinda Gates. Okay, we are talking about a communication between some people. Which people we are talking about in the test plan? Testers and the developers,
Developer.
not the users and their bosses, not the bosses of users and me. Okay, we are talking about specific people. Okay,
Okay.
we're talking about the communication between testers and developers and project manager. Okay, the people who are working on the project to make testing a success. Okay,
Yeah.
stages of the, so you understand this whole thing, right? Diagram, because your diagram, this diagram is gonna go exactly like this. So you better understand it or present it. If you want to take 1 minute in explaining this thing to fellow friends, you can do that. You want to do that? Let's do that. So we are talking about the deliverables of this process. So on the top you see process, which includes steps, what will be done as part of that phase. So from here to here, that is one phase. Second phase is here, this is second phase. This is
Right.
third phase, right? He's saying as part of the third phase, as part of the first phase, this is a process that will be followed. Like these are the steps that will be done. These are the deliverables. These are the documents tangible documents that will come out of it. So this is the output of the deliverable, or the deliverable, process uh, of the test planning phase. So in the test construction phase, test scripts will be delivered, setup test environment will be delivered, test data will be delivered. Loading of test data will be finished by then. As part of the test results, test execute phase, test scripts with their results will be delivered, summary reports will be delivered, anomaly reports will be delivered, issues log will be delivered. So this is how this this diagram has been made. Other thing that you guys asked me is like this requirement design and unit test. He's just trying to say the test planning will be occurring after the requirement design is complete, and when the unit testing is taking place, it will still be getting completed. That's just a way. Okay, just a way to define your timelines. Okay, just tell. So these are the high level project timelines, right? So he's saying that this is what I'll be doing. So you can move it also a little bit. I think I personally will move it here. When the unit testing is taking unit testing is what? The developer after developing his code, he also makes a small test right away. Unit test.
Just to make sure it's working.
Yeah, just to make sure that unit is working, whatever he's working on. But you as a tester will be testing the whole system together, right, Hafiz?
Yeah.
So he's saying when the unit testing is taking place, I will be in the process of constructing the test scripts. I will not be executing the test scripts. Obviously, I will execute the test scripts when the development is complete. Development with unit testing is complete, right? Right, Hafiz?
Yeah.
And you can start working only. Actually, I'll put this somewhere here. When the requirement design is taking place, you can start working before that. You are already working on test planning, right? Whereas requirements are still being gathered, right?
Yeah, they're almost in the
Okay.
final phase.
So that's what I'm just trying to depict by this. It's a method of your understanding what you are trying to say. Like now you understand what you're trying to say. Tomorrow if they find a fault, you can correct it then and there. So it's not being correct. It's about understanding what concept, what you're trying to say here. Okay. Now that you're trying to say, just tell him, okay, so I will just move it a little bit up or down. And don't become finicky about, don't counter argue. They say, I think requirement design, you put it left, right, just say okay. They'll say delete it, delete it. Don't counter argue with anybody like this. Okay? Don't be possessive about the diagrams and the deliverables. So we discussed this thing in detail quite a lot, like what will the various test phases. So again, it's an iterative process. Here it's just trying to suggest that it's a sequential process, but it's basically iterative in nature. So this is a definition for all those phases. I will provide that to you. You have it. You can easily, without any issue, you can, just present it to your manager. He will really like it. So it is just telling in detail. You should know what it, read it once. You should know what it means. Each and everything means. Once you know everything, you'll be good to go. Okay. I'm just asking, Karen, what is the Karen? She is the team lead of Hafiz, and he's gonna ask her, do you have a template? So whatever I'm putting as ask Karen, only those things have to go to Karen. Okay. Whatever else we put here, you will have to put something over there before you send it to Karen. Okay.
Okay.
So I will do that before we go. Okay.
Okay. For the blue one.
Give me 1 second.
The application name इधर fill करना है.
इतना मैं फिल कर दूंगा, मैं बाद में फिल कर दूंगा, डोंट वरी. मैं जरा बस देख रहा हूँ कि कोई गलत चीज़ रहना चाहिए, मतलब
Okay.
तो मैंने इसको अभी कर दिया, मुझे लग रहा था कि रहना चाहिए गलती से. ठीक है. All right. So testing types and definition: unit testing, system integration testing, user acceptance testing. So unit testing, we will be no, I got what? Okay, we don't call it testing. We'll call it functional testing.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, system integration testing, in this integration various, all your integrations will be tested. For example, you have 2-3 interfaces, right? They all will be covered as part of this testing. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have, it's saying there's the objectives of this. We have test all the inbound and outbound interfaces, test the backend. So basically it's a general theory, right? We just write a general theory. We're not talking about the project here, just talking about a general theory. What are the objectives of integration testing, right?
Yes.
So it just is nothing. You just read it before you go there. You should be able to talk about it. If you don't understand any single line, you give it to me. So here I'm not going to explain every single line. Okay.
Okay.
So user acceptance testing is, we will be doing it the last phase. Your manager might say, no, we are not going to do any UAT. You just eliminate it from here. Okay. But you can take it with you tomorrow.
This document.
No, this section, why don't you understand my context? UAT, I'm saying UAT, he might eliminate it tomorrow after the meeting, but before that you can take it with you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Responsibilities overview. The responsibility, अच्छा एक और चीज, a very important thing is, let's say you leave some line from the previous. Basically it's a template, it's a document prepared for something else by some other company, right? Now you are changing it to use it here, right? Sorry, it's not some company, like I use it for my own work. But
So you
so
have to change it.
so you have changing. Let's say something is left by mistake. Don't get embarrassed when people point it out. Just say, I'm sorry, I have used it for some other place. You say you have used it at some other place. Okay? You got my point?
Oh, absolutely. Correct.
Okay. Okay, the thing is that by mistake you might have left something, I might have left something which is of the previous document, right?
Okay.
At that point, let's say somebody pinpoints it tomorrow. Hey, you know what? You have some work related to your previous work. Don't some lines, of which just don't get embarrassed.
Okay.
Okay? Got it?
Okay.
What did Haji? Test team roles and responsibilities. Responsibilities overview. Unit testing will be the responsibility of the developers. System integration testing will be the responsibility of the test team, and user acceptance testing will be the responsibility of business groups with guidance from appropriate business analysts. Okay?
Okay.
That's fine. Roles and responsibility. Project manager, he does these things. Business team testers, they do these things. You just have to go through this thing. Testing support team does these things. Okay.
Okay.
Test coordinate is yourself. Okay. Communicate a clear vision of the objectives for the testing of the system and provide guidance to the team. Okay. Very important thing is entrance criteria and exit criteria. You should know. Entrance criteria is when should we start testing. Exit criteria is when should we finish testing. Finishing testing is you cannot do it on any single day. You just have to first make sure that the whole system has been tested.
Yeah.
The whole system is error free, and then only you exit it. Okay. So that's the meaning of exit criteria. And entrance criteria is developers have to say that the system is developed according to them. That's when you enter the testing phase, right?
Yeah.
So this entrance criteria and exit criteria is of the testing phase, the whole testing phase. So you say that, okay, you exit the testing phase only if the test, so there is a certain criteria, maybe like this, let's say there are 100 test cases. Okay.
Yeah.
So they might say if these 2-3 test cases are failing, we can still, accept the system, we'll exit the testing. Okay.
Okay.
So that's a special thing about exit criteria. They might be having a different exit criteria. They might say out of 100, if 85% is passing, then we'll just accept the system. That's fine. Okay.
Okay.
So now you understand the meaning of entrance criteria and exit criteria. You understand or not?
Yeah. Entrance criteria.
Okay, drives completion of the testing of the applications within the given time frame. Schedules, okay, this is fine. You can see all this. He will be the one who will be responsible for getting the sign off. Physically a person goes and gets the sign, okay? So somebody has to do that. He's saying the test coordinator will do all that. And he will be managing the issues log and all those things too. All the issues and all the risks and all the bugs. Okay? Feedback and updates. Yeah, he's saying that we'll see, whenever we find an error, this is how we'll manage it, okay? You have to read it, Hafiz, okay?
Okay.
And you must call me and ask me questions that will make me feel that you know before, what time is your meeting? He's saying that remaining open anomalies, so like somebody has to go, and if there is some open anomalies, somebody has to go and get the approval saying that this is fine, and that's when we'll transfer. So these are the objectively written entry and exit criteria, okay? Oh, more written here. So you need to go through all this before you go to before you go to the meeting tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Test completion criteria, system integration test, and these are the completion criteria. Sign off completed. This is the main thing. Sign off completed. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Script map. So whenever you write a script, you'll be writing with it. When will it be? When will it be run? So you can say it here. Okay.
Okay. When the script will run.
Like whether it will be run in the unit testing phase or it will be run in only the functional testing phase.
Okay.
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 Okay. Test tracking and monitoring. Test status definitions. So yeah, status definitions are very important. In this is what you will be basically when you in the report, you know, whenever the test fails, you will be putting it here. And for every test case, you will maintain whether it's passed or failed, or whether it is under study, or it is blocked, or it is not yet run. No, it's not at the time of. For every test case, you will be maintaining this status. Okay.
Okay.
Suspending and resuming testing. Yeah, whenever the pass rate is less than 75%, he will say, okay, let's not do it. He will just stop it at that time itself. So you have to read all this. So basically, yeah, this is also a thing that testing coordinator can also say, you know, if there are certain tests they don't pass, he says that let's not do any further testing. Let's stop it. Ask the developers to work on it. Once fix those bugs, only then I will go forward and do the rest of the test, or start the test all over again.
Okay.
Let's say it does not even create an account, then he will say, okay, it's better not to even test further. Okay.
Okay.
That's precisely what it means. So it will be your call. Okay.
Okay.
Anomaly reporting and tracking. This is a communication plan, right?
Yeah.
No, this is the anomaly reporting. Tester reports new anomaly. Anomaly is entered in the anomaly spreadsheet. Testing coordinator assigns severity, priority, and developer. This is very important. For every testing, for every bug that you find, there will be a severity and priority for it.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to assign that. So severity and priority, this is a very important question for any tester. What is the difference? Okay, difference between priority is severity might be very high, but still, let's say you cannot create an account. Okay,
Yeah.
so severity is high.
Right.
Now priority might be low. Let's say manager says, project says, leave it here. That's fine. We'll roll out the system without this functionality. So that means priority is low.
Okay.
So he might just eliminate the account management functionality altogether from the requirements. So that means priority is 0, although severity is high. Sometimes severity and high priority are both high. For example, if the users cannot log in into the system,
Yeah.
okay. So in this case, severity and priority both will be high.
Okay.
So these are the things. So he says that first you will find the bug, then you will enter into the system, then test coordinator that you will basically assign the priority and severity. Then he will send it to each development project manager. Then they will, if they when they found they will work on it. Once they work on it, they will close it. If it is closed, testing distributes the anomaly report, summary report to project manager, project sponsors. Okay, so he will retest it. Tester will retest here. Okay,
Okay.
if it fails, he will open it again, gives it back to the testing code, gives it back to the project manager. Okay.
Okay.
Anomaly reporting. As a business scenarios and business test scripts are executed, problems are recorded on the test scripts and reported using the anomaly tracking spreadsheet. The anomaly report will be updated on twice or 3 times a day. Okay. Yeah, so these are the various things that will go in that. So when we are making the bug report, we'll just put all these things. Okay.
Okay.
In an Excel, we'll put all these things. So I think everything is here. Right, so you need to go over each and every this thing heading and try to understand what you will be entering regarding a bug here. Okay.
Okay.
Testing meetings. Yeah, what will we have, what will be the agenda of those meetings? Okay. Anomaly severity. Now he's saying the product under test is rendered unusable and is unable to function in any capacity. He says high would mean that it is a showstopper, nothing can be done. Medium means the product under test is almost fully functional. Okay, it is working, but it is working. It is basically like, let's say you can create an account, but there is required field functionality is not working, so it's still medium.
Okay.
So he said it should be escalated also. High and medium will be escalated to the project manager immediately.
Okay.
The product will be under test is fully functional, may only contain a cosmetic flaw. For example, their account name or something, some label is misspelled or anything like that. Okay. Enhancement is not a bug, it is a thing that, let's say your users say, I don't want it this way, I think it is wrong. Then you say, okay, it is requirements when you gave, they have made the system like that and it is passing. So whatever you are saying now, we'll just as an enhancement. So that's the whole idea about enhancement. So that is not an error. Okay. test cycle. Okay. So again, all those phases are written. Sorry, various kinds of testings are written, and it is sent. What will be done in the as that part of that? Okay. So test plan, test scripts. Okay. Yeah. Executed test scripts, test summary report. You have to read it. Okay. You have to read it and see what it means. Okay.
Okay.
Now nothing is left. So I will just make this document in one quick second, and then you can deliver it tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'll make it within 1 minute. हाँ जी, आपकी एप्लीकेशन का नाम क्या है? हाफिज, आपकी एप्लीकेशन का नाम क्या है?
Clinical trial management system.
क्या क्या?
Clinical trial management system. CTMS.
Is it fine? ठीक है सर, बिल्कुल ठीक लिखा है मैंने.
Yes.
देखते रहो आप, है ना, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. ओके.